This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are here for the Tuesday 8-game main slate. 7 o'clock start time all the way up to 8:30 with the Pacers Dallas closing out the main slate. Orlando Charlotte kicking us off at 7 o'clock. James, we are here. We are kind of watching this Monday slate go down. Keontae George rolled in, plays about a minute and a half, leaves with an illness. Unfortunate. He was 30% rostered in my contest here over on FanDuel. Can't imagine that going well for many. Some wild ins and outs, some starting lineups. Jordan Goodwin not in the starting lineup, then basically didn't play for.
He's not active. He was on a two-way. He's like with the G League team.
Yeah, there you go then, right? We talked about him all day, and then all of a sudden not even going to play for them. So we move on. We turn the page. We're here now, right? 8 games for Tuesday.
Yeah, I played Keontae George, so I am very unhappy. Pivoted from Jordan Poole. That makes things even worse. But it is a Tuesday slate that's just going to be so much more fun with Luka questionable, Victor Wembanyama questionable, Jalen Brunson questionable, Donovan Mitchell out, Jaylen Brown questionable, Porzingis questionable, Tyler Hero already out, Jakob Poeltl out. I mean, it's going to be chock full of injuries. You're going to have to stay hip to the news for sure.
Yes, indeed. Here, quick look at our game totals and spreads that we have available to us here, because again, there is obviously a lot of injury news still to go here. But Orlando, Charlotte's getting 8.5, a 209 total there. Boston, Cleveland getting 6.5 here at home, 217.5 total. Philly, Brooklyn getting 2 here on a back-to-back, 219 total. Detroit, Miami is giving 12, 220.5 total in that one. Atlanta, New York giving 4, 217. New Orleans, Toronto getting 8.5, 229 total there. San Antonio, Houston giving 8, 229 total. And the last game on the slate here, Indiana, Dallas giving 4.5, 246.5 game total there to close out the show. We talked about this briefly here. Some low game totals of late, and there was a stat. I wish I saved the tweet. I think maybe the Action Network had it, that unders in game totals since the All-Star break are like dominating the lineage here. So a lot of game totals. Maybe that's why we're starting to see some of these totals here become a little bit lower than what we're accustomed to. 61, 25, and 1 are the unders on game totals since the All-Star break. On the Sunday slate, 8-0 on the unders. So we'll see how that translates to the Monday slate. But just a trend going on that scoring is down, or Vegas is just too high on what some of these game totals are being listed as.
That's interesting. Could be the late season blues where people are dragging right now and just trying to get to the end of the season. Could be a lot of teams are kind of depleted and a lot of second stringers are playing. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but that is quite an interesting stat.
65 and 25 is a big number to be favoring one way or the other. So
it is, sure.
Let's get into what we got going on here. Again, a lot of injury news. This is our preview show. If you haven't already tossed like down on today's show, it's a free way to support us. Certainly would go ahead and appreciate you guys doing so. We come back here live at 5 p.m. Eastern time to update you up throughout the day. And of course, this is going to be one of those days where you will need those updates at 5 o'clock when we go live here. But to kick us off here, Luka Doncic, 12-2, as you mentioned, questionable to play. Jalen Brunson, $9,600, questionable to play. DeJounte Murray at $94,000. Tyrese Halliburton at $9,000. Those are your top price guards here. The $9,000 Halliburton in Dallas are $246,000. I mean, that's a price.
It's a price. I mean, he's looked terrible. So I get it. I don't know. It's obviously too cheap for good version of Halliburton.
Right.
Is it too cheap for this version?
It leaves room for ceiling.
It does. And it's not like the minutes have gone away. I mean, 36 minutes is tremendous as well. Like
Just
that's
missing shots, right? 1 for 5, 1 for 6, 3 for 8, 0 for 6, 0 for 6 from 3. This is a
I
dude
mean,
that's
to be
in the 3-point contest.
that's fair. He's definitely missing shots. That is definitely a big factor. Also, 3 of the last 4 games, we're not getting double-digit assists,
Sure.
despite playing, like, pretty big minutes in almost all of them. The New Orleans game withstanding that was a torturing, so,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, for sure. Again, I'm just more so, and you're not that you're disagreeing with me, but you got a guy like him at 9K. I mean,
right,
we're
right.
that's a number that sticks out, especially when, like you said, you don't know if those top 2 guys are gonna play. DeJounte Murray at $9,400 feels okay. I mean, we know the Knicks, slower, a little bit of a slower paced team generally, but a good spot maybe for Murray if everybody's gonna be out for them. Maxi's at 88, could have a solo Kyrie Irving in that Indiana matchup at 89. Certainly going to have some appeal there. Quickly's up to 8K now. He's leaped over Cade Cunningham at $7,900. Vassell, Van Vliet, Garland, and McCollum round out your 7 and 8K tier. We already know Donovan Mitchell's out. Darius Garland at 7,200 at home against Boston. That matchup at all worry you, or you're still just running out Garland here?
I mean, he should be fine. We've seen Boston invincible at home, and they're beatable on the road.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will lose, but they obviously could potentially be without both Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis too, to like maybe ease the pain for
Yeah.
Cleveland. Obviously, Cleveland's also without some people because it's not just Mitchell. Strus is out and Levert's questionable. So Cleveland is like extremely shorthanded. So it's gonna have to be on the back of Garland. I'm okay getting there. I'm not saying I'm like 7,200's too cheap for Garland when like 2 of their top 5 is out, right? Like
Yeah.
it's and maybe 3 of their top 6 if Levert sits. So like tough matchup, but 7,200 is too cheap. I mean, look at the minutes too for Garland. The Chicago game was obviously double overtime, but then 36 in regulation against Detroit, 40 in regulation against the Knicks. Like he's not coming off the floor.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Any other guys in that mid-tier range that you're targeting here?
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie, as you mentioned, is definitely in play. Maxi's definitely in play. Cade has been really good outside of that Orlando game, but that happens against Orlando. Quickly's been amazing.
Yes.
Scotty Barnes with the surgery. Obviously, this is like perfect for Quickly and Barrett, I would say. Like they now actually just have the team to themselves. It's just all systems go for both those guys. So no problem getting to Quickly. Vassell would be definitely more interesting if there's no Wemby at
Sure.
7,600.
Well, we'll
So,
get to a guy that I think we're going to be talking about if there ends up being no Wemby, someone that we have played a little bit of late here. Certainly would be in a pretty good spot
yeah.
if that ends up coming through here. Under 7K guards, again, you do have
Well,
the Boston guard.
Van Vliet 7-3, just to
Okay.
cut you off real quick. I mean, 42 minutes, 52 fantasy points last
Sure.
game. If that's going to be the type of production we're going to get out of Van Vliet again, because he's been doing it a little bit
Yeah.
with more consistency, then I'm definitely interested there.
Yeah, 20 actual and 4 to the last 5 is good to see here, and finally got those double-digit assists that you were asking for the other night as well. If no Brown, if no Porzingis, you have White and Drew Holiday here under 7K. Both of those guys probably appealing. Would you have a preference one over the other?
Usually White. Usually
Yeah.
White's always the guy that gets like the biggest usage bump. Drew is good with just being like what he is.
A guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, yeah, I've been defending the best player on every team for the last 15 years. Like I'm okay being I'm okay being the 5th option on night to night basis.
Right. We have obviously Rozier is here, Bogdan, Dennis Schroeder at 6K, Jaden Ivey's 59, Trey Mann got it right this time at $5,700, and then Trey Jones at 56. McBride, should there be no
Dude,
Brunson 55 played a bajillion minutes the other night.
literally all but one.
Yeah, him and Hart just
He-
didn't get off the floor that game
The only reason McBride didn't play 48 was because he didn't start.
because Brunson played the first minute.
He played the first minute.
Yeah.
It's 5,500, but like there's just no way. Dude, and it's the same thing with Josh Hart. Like I don't care if he's 9K at this point. He's almost 8K.
Yeah.
He's like, these dudes are just, and I've even I've been screaming it, and I still have been kind of not doing it, but
18 and 19 rebounds last
dude,
week.
if you are going to have somebody playing these type of minutes, you just you don't have a choice.
Right.
Like if there's no, he's not playing Alec Burks. Alec Burks is not playing. McBride is going to play every minute. If he's like, yo, Tibbs, I can play every minute. He's like, all right, buckle up, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to play him at 5,500. So,
and he's not a scrub, right? He's not some G League guy that got called up. I'm talking about Hart there for a second, but McBride, yeah, for sure. Seen him play big minutes. We've seen him be productive in those minutes. So, while there's obviously a lot of guys in this mid tier, if players end up being ruled out, we kind of know where the moves go. What's the Charlotte situation here? Martin out again already? Yep.
They're out for 2 weeks, and Seth Curry out for 2 weeks.
So you got Micic played 36 minutes.
Yep.
25 points, fantasy points for him, and then Trey Mann playing 30 minutes there, 20 fantasy points. Consensus is we just play the cheaper guy in this spot with Micic.
Yeah, Micic is the.
Yep, I'm agree with you there. Anybody else for some value point guards? Malachi Branham,
Yeah.
I think you brought him up, or it was either mentioned, maybe it was mentioned in our Discord. One of the two, could have been both. A dude started 18, 4, and 6. We go through these stretches with him. It feels like a couple times this year already where he gets minutes and then he fills up the stat sheet and you're like, he was free. Should have played him.
Yeah. He had the emergency start the other day. Do we have Wemby, Champagny? Is Champagny questionable? If Champagny doesn't play again, then we're gonna he's questionable.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Branham again. I mean, he's gonna be popular. So
yeah, good price tag for him there as well. Anybody else for you?
I don't know if Pritchard sees any bump with guys out if Jaylen Brown were to sit, but I don't know.
Okay,
probably not.
Shooting guard position. Then a lot of these guys we've discussed already. Did Maxey always have shooting guard eligibility? Or is that new?
No, that's new.
Okay, you got Maxey now with shooting guard eligibility. Ingram's at 8K. Dante DiVincenzo at 78. Mikal Bridges on the back-to-back there at 75. We touched on Vassell a little bit. If Jaylen Brown is active, I mean, this dude, shooting like 43% from three since the All-Star break. There was all the videos of the Warriors just like daring him
off. Yeah. Did you hear they asked Steve Kerr about it, and he's like, "Yeah, we're trying different strategies." And Jaylen, did you see Jaylen quote?
Yeah, he's like, "Let him."
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 of 10 from three. The dude has been on another thing, since the All-Star break here. I mean, 77 is going to be too cheap, but this is where he's going to be running that right now. So, pretty solid 7K tier of guys there.
Yeah, I have no problem really getting to anyone from Bridges up. What would be like your DDV exposure without Brunson's probably through the roof again too, right? 40 minutes.
Yeah.
52 fantasy points the other day. Like, it just has to be, right?
I mean, dude's taking an average of like 15 threes a game. So when you're taking that many threes and then Atlanta's not a great defensive team anyways, like you're gonna give it some looks 100%. Brandon Miller, 68. Charlotte, I mean, Orlando, obviously a tough matchup here. So I don't know how much Charlotte exposure we want, especially at that range, but he's there. Jalen Green really been good lately. $6,700 has had some pop moments. One of them again against Phoenix, back-to-back 50 bombs against them. So now we get San Antonio here. I mean, if he's gonna run that way, this is we went through the stretches with him earlier in the year like that. But he healed Duncan Robinson. Like, what are your thoughts as we work our way to the value range?
Mostly GPP plays, Miller GPPs, Green. I mean, you said it. He's very hard to predict, but has a crazy ceiling.
I mean, back-to-back 34 actual games for him.
And then he'll get benched next. Like he'll get benched.
Yeah.
So
He'll
like
go
it's
0 for 5, and then Ime is like, take a seat. We're
yeah, you're
playing
never
something
playing.
else.
Yeah, never playing again. Like it's fine in tournaments for sure. He has a ceiling. Rozier is like in the slightest bit interesting. He hasn't had a ceiling yet for Miami, but no hero. You have to assume one of these days the ceiling is going to come.
Dude,
9
even
shots
with no
against
hero, though,
Utah.
why does he take 9 shots against Utah?
Utah. I don't know.
It's just Jimmy Buckets, right? He's just dominating right now.
I mean, the same Utah team has allowed 72 points to Washington in the first half. Like it's like, what are we? I'm interested in Rozier in tournaments. Same thing could be said for Duncan as long as he's going to start. It's a really good spot against Detroit.
Yeah.
Not like much else. Bogdanovich in cash is okay, but even he's kind of faltered the last 2 games.
Yeah, where are you with the Toronto guys here? You have Trent and Grady Dick down here, 45 and $5,400.
Trent's okay, 54. There should be more opportunity. He's just not really good peripherally. I know 5 rebounds, 3 steals says differently, but he's not. He's very, very, very heavily reliant on scoring. 54 is fine. A little indifferent about it. Same thing can be said like Oubre is fine at that price. The Grady Dick thing, they started Agbaji.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be.
And Agbaji was pretty good in that game too.
He was, but like, why are we not starting your first round? Like the guy that you drafted in the first round. So maybe if Grady Dick started, but that brings me to Sam Merrill at $4,100, who probably starts this game because if no Strus, no Donovan Mitchell, possibly no Karis LeVert, even if he doesn't start, doesn't matter. In almost every scenario, Sam Merrill plays, right? Because he's in the rotation to begin with, 25, 29 minutes last 2 games. He's going to play in a blowout. He plays in blowouts, and Boston blows teams out.
Yeah.
And he's a lightning rod. He hit 7 of 13 threes. He took 13. He's taken every shot he's taken. If you look, this is actually insane. His last 7 games, only 1 shot he has taken has not been a 3.
It's true.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what if
he's actually, again, he's hit him.
He's an elite 3-point shooter.
Yeah. All right, I can get behind it. I know Boston's tough defensively. They also just beat the Warriors by 70. So, like,
yeah, I mean that was Look, Boston at home, and that's the problem. They are going to win every game at home. Like they're not going in the playoffs. But like,
was this just blowout minutes? You think for Fournier? 26.
Yeah, I mean, Kate only played like 22 minutes in that game.
Yeah, that's fine. 25 out of disaster there. All right, let's go to small forward here. Talking you mentioning Boston at home. Obviously now they're on the road here. Jason Tatum, $9,700 on the road this year, averaging slightly more fantasy points than he is at home. Believe it or not, averaging
because he gets to play. He gets to play He gets to play the fourth quarter.
That's fair. Also averaging 51 against Cleveland this year. Miles Bridges, Jimmy Buckets against Detroit at home. I mean, this dude, man, 49, 60, 50, 52, a 36 and a blowout loss to Denver, 55 against Utah. This could very well be another. I mean, dude, we talk about like where Miami is and what they need, and Jimmy Butler playoff stretch times here, and we're getting it. So
about time, yeah.
Well, he's not when he's not in Fall Out Boy music videos. He's got to be doing what he's doing, right? So
I mean, no, I wasn't saying it in like a bad. I was saying like it's about that time. Like this is we said it if anyone watched the Fantasy Alarm live stream on Monday. LeBron-esque, right? Where like the ramp up begins and then Miami makes their push.
They're a game and a half out of the 6 seed from not being in the plan. So
is it Indiana in the 6?
Orlando.
Wow. Orlando's made a big leap, huh?
Yeah, Philly's actually only a half game there. So there's a huge gap. So from the Knicks who are in 4th down to the Pacers that are in 8th, it's 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 games between 4 and 8 right now.
So Miami just gunning for the 4th spot at this point.
They're right there. Yeah,
could.
they're a game and a half out of the 4 for the Knicks. So
Okay.
it's there. And Jimmy's playing like it right now. So
and Jimmy's playing like it. Yeah, I have no problem getting to Jimmy as long as this game can stay competitive.
agreed. You have the dual positional eligibility with Josh Hart. We don't need to again expound upon it, but I mean, shish.
Dude,
triple dubs, 18 and 19 rebounds for this 6'6" small forward. Like,
dude, we said it and we'll say it again. Minutes are king, right? Like, just if this is it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. And now you get Atlanta. He's going to be the highest roster player of the slate.
Yeah, probably true.
Him, McBride. I mean, take your pick on which DiVincenzo, who's fit them all.
Pick, you know.
Yeah.
Hey. Siakam 76. Not a terrible price tag for him.
It's a good matchup.
Yeah.
Indiana's just out of sort. Indiana's just all like.
I agree. He's been okay, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Could be a good bounce back spot again, dude. 246.5 total. I mean, they're on the road, but we'll see. We'll see. Franz 74. I do like that price. I know Charlotte's not in a very good team, and that could be a blowout. So, what did Oswald do? Still get minutes. 2 for 10. He didn't start though, right? He's coming off the bench for them the other day. I don't think he started the other day.
No, I think he's starting. They're starting Stewart. They're bringing Tech 47 off the bench, aren't they?
I feel maybe. I thought I saw that he did not start the other day. Let me see.
Like this last game against
Popcorn Machine against Chicago.
The Magic. The last game was against the Magic.
Against the Magic.
He started and played 33 minutes. He played the most minutes of any starter. Fontecchio did play 33 off the bench.
Maybe that's what I was seeing. I saw Fontecchio's bench, not that they didn't start him.
But Asor did. He did.
He started though. Okay. Yeah, he's still fine. They're all getting the minute to get Sadiq Bey down here. Sohan 54, and Keldon 52. If there's no Wemby, I mean, Keldon's starting to ramp up a little bit here. So,
yeah. Well,
they won't even start him even without Wemby, like because
because they'll just start Zach Collins.
Yeah. So, but the minutes will be there potentially for him. So,
he's a good offensive player. He's a high usage rate, right? Like he'll be if on a team that wasn't Wemby last year, he was a 7K player, right? Wemby didn't exist last year. He was a 7K player. So if there's no Wemby, fire up Keldon for sure.
Agreed. Again, Sadiq Bey there, DeAndre Hunter's down here. If Agbaji starts again, do you got to give him a look? The man jacked up 20 shots.
How many more?
I don't think he took a total of 20 shots during his time with Utah.
How many? I cannot believe I just looked at a number that said 20 next to Agbaji's name, and it wasn't
20 shots.
Minutes. How many times for the remainder of the year does he take 20 shots? How many more? Over under half?
None. I don't think he ever approaches 20 shots again. I will say this is going to be an interesting lineup for the Toronto because no Jakob Poeltl here, so they're going to start Kelly Olynyk.
You have to, right? You think?
I think so.
Because they didn't even play him. They didn't give him enough run to begin with.
No. And then do they have to play Chris Boucher, or do they go to Jonte Porter?
No, they don't care. They don't care.
What do they do here? Is Jonte even on the team anymore? I don't even know.
He is on the team. He's on a two-way though. Let's see if he got called up. He scored 21 and 7 in
the G League.
Yeah.
The Raptors 905s, the Rip City there. Wouldn't you assume that they would call him up knowing Pirtle's hurt? But I guess I don't know.
I assume, but like, we don't know. These coaches are crazy.
They played Jordan Nwora the other day a little bit. It's 18 minutes. Would they just do that? They'll just go small ball at like Nwora at the 5?
Oh God.
So they just refuse to play Boucher.
Pelicans.
They just don't play him.
Yeah, no, he's dead.
New coach, same results. No minutes.
Yeah, he's never getting minutes. Dream's dead.
Anyway, so I don't know what to do with Agbaji, but he's probably starting again. I have to imagine he's starting again.
Yeah, probably. He's fine,
We got 10
right?
minutes out of Whitmore. You mentioned Fontecchio played a bunch of minutes. Could certainly get back to him there at 44.
Yeah, I'm a little indifferent. Only like he's gonna play mid-20s minutes. So
Sure. Power forward then. Again, Banchero 86. Zion 81. Pretty good there. Jalen Johnson 78. RJ power forward only Barrett.
yeah, he started at power forward the other day,
Yeah.
which was interesting. I mean, dude, it's his team and it's Quickly's team right now for the rest of the year. There ain't nothing stopping that train down, slowing
Nope.
that train down. So, yeah, I mean, he can't make free throws at all. He's 7 for his last 18 from the free throw
Yeah.
line. And they were talking about it on the broadcast the other day. They were like, yeah, so I don't know what happened, but he just stopped making free throws. Got the yips. I don't know what to say.
I'll tell you this. During this game against Charlotte, I took the over 21.5 for Emmanuel Quickly points. And he made 6 straight free throws to end the game because they just kept on fouling, and he was the one getting the free throws, and he made all 6 to go over the 21.5. So was super excited to see that, which included him getting the final missed shot rebound with like 15 seconds left, and then they hacked him again. So perfect storm of 6 for 6 from the line, unlike had I taken RJ Barrett. But he went over his point total there because the man has no problem scoring other places. So
No,
I'm perfectly fine there. The Cleveland Boston matchup will be interesting. Obviously, I've been a big Evan Mobley tout this year. In years past, I've called him a bit boring. Didn't think that the ceiling had been there.
sure did.
Obviously, you adjust with your tune. I also once thought Nikola Jokic kind of sucked.
That's
And
yep.
to be fair, 3 years ago he kind of did. 4 years ago he kind of did.
Well, 3 years ago, no, he won the MVP. So for the year
5 years ago, I've been doing this for
yeah.
way too long, but like
Yes.
5 years ago he kind of did. I think listen, Evan Mobley we drafted, thought he was gonna be a stud. The team wasn't enabling him to be a stud. I think lately they've been giving him those opportunities. That said, I mean, it is Boston. They may not be Kristaps Porzingis in this spot, so he'll be up against Tatum regardless. But Al Horford's probably gonna be the 5, and then Xavier Tillman's gonna be the backup center, I think, on this team here. So, could be a good matchup for Evan Mobley here in that front court. The size he's going to have over Tatum. I mean, like,
yeah,
Tatum's a good defender, no doubt. But I'm just saying, like, he's going to have a lot. He's a center. He's not a power forward, right?
yeah.
So,
This is one of those 5 teams that essentially run 2 centers. So it's like if you go back to that Tatum at power forward, which
and Mobley's a defensive player of the year candidate year in, year out too. So I still like him here. Porzingis, I wouldn't mind getting to either, but you kind of called it out. Like they're just not going to play him more than 30 minutes, and then he gets hurt. So, it kind of is what it is there. Let's see. Precious 69 only played 20 minutes in that game. Let's see. Jabari 67, Kelly O 63. So talked about Cam Johnson, another big night for Cam Johnson. I guess we'll see if the Nets have Simmons and Cam Thomas available. I don't know the nightly statuses there.
Yeah, and also what they do on a back-to-back. Cam Johnson, 37 minutes on a front end. Dude,
he was really good though.
He would I know for sure. I'm just saying, like 37 minutes for Cam Johnson is a death sentence for injury to plague him following, right? Like
for sure.
And you can't lose. And by the way, you just can't lose to Memphis at home. I don't care who is in and out. You just can't lose.
Well, I don't disagree with you. So it was it wasn't even like a healthy Memphis team.
No, they started Trey Jemison. That's all you need to know. You cannot lose that team.
No, I agree with you. We're gonna way down the list here. Anybody else for power forward for you?
You mentioned Kelly O. I hard pressed not to want to play Kelly Olynyk. I think I saw Nick Richards is questionable again. Obviously, I know it's a terrible spot, but like, dude, Grant Williams world, we're just living in it.
He had the game, right? Like we knew it was coming.
He had the game.
He's gonna get swallowed by like Wendell Carter.
He's probably not in for a fun time, but
No, I would agree with you.
Isaiah Stewart.
And dude, Beef Stew the other day had a good day.
So the minutes obviously Orlando weren't great, but the two he returned from injury / suspension, 34, 33 minutes right off rip. Like no one rebound shy of a double in each of those games. He's a good fantasy asset. So like I'm good getting to Stewart in a tournament. I don't know what else though. Bertans, dude.
Yes, yeah.
What the flip?
I mean, they do. They when you're starting Grant, right? Like then Bertans has the minutes available to him.
Yeah. I'm just like he's a lightning rod of offense. He can shoot.
Washington knew what they were doing when they gave him $60 million. You know,
Was it 60? I always thought it was more than that. I
It
always
might
thought it
have
was
been
like
a little
I always thought it was
higher,
like
but-
100. I always thought it was like 100 million or like 80 million. You got like 4 for 80 or something.
let's see. Let's see what the
Davis Bertans gets $700 million.
dude. I mean, he's still making. So 5 years, 80 million, 69 nice million guaranteed in that deal. That man got $69 million guaranteed. I don't think he played.
Salute.
Like,
Dude, salute.
What a robbery. What a robbery for Davis Bertans. Good on you, good sir.
Good on him. But hey, right now, Davis Bertans $4,000. If there's guys out, which there are in Charlotte, but if the Grant is forced to only play center, he's gonna play mid-20s minutes again. So
Agreed.
He just says what it is, right? Like
I'll throw him out there. That's fine. He's 4K. Center position here. Obviously, if Wemby is in, we'll have some interest in Wemby. Bam 84, Şengün 82 on the other side of that potential San Antonio matchup. A couple of guys we've discussed here already. If you had to pick one, Bam, Şengün, which way are you going?
Probably Şengün, and I only say that because the way that Jimmy's played is just like
sure,
kind of. I mean, 26, 38, 36 fantasy points for Bam. He's 8,400.
Yeah, he left that Utah game briefly with an injury and still played 34 minutes. So
yeah, the minutes are great for Bam. But I feel like Şengün, he's just more involved offensively.
Agreed. I mean, a lot of this talk and discussion is just kind of getting us to where we're probably plugging Kelly Olynyk in anyways. But
yeah,
do you feel any interest in like a Duran, a Claxton, a Turner? Mo Bamba started again the other day. Wendell Carter had a good day at 54. I mean, what are your thoughts when it comes to center? Zach Collins is $4,500. Could be starting for Wemby if he's out.
Dude, Miles Turner has been the best player for the Pacers for like the last month.
Yeah,
he just is good. He's been good. I don't know where the rebounding even came from, but he has 4 double-digit rebounding games over the last 6. That kind of seems unlikely to continue, but it's continuing right now. So I would play Miles Turner.
Okay.
But I agree. It's like Kelly Olynyk, Capella 57. I do like the trending upwards in minutes to 24.
Dude, I don't know, man. I agree with you.
You just think that even no matter what, it's just mid-20s
They've
minutes.
Been going a lot of Jalen Johnson at the 5, man. They have.
And Fernando and some Fernando too. I think Fernando had played like
their closing lineup the other day was Jalen at the 5, and it had Hunter, it had Bay, it had Murray, it had all their shooters on the floor.
Just space the floor. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't hate that approach.
Yeah, it's tough right now with Capella there because Johnson's versatility, dude. He's just a monster. So
the Bamba starting thing has kind of been good for Paul Reed though off the bench. Because Bamba's still not playing a lot. Paul Reed 24 and 28 minutes. Seems like one of those situations Nick Nurse is like, I think you were just better suited off the bench, right? Because it's like his natural role. He's looked good off the bench the last couple games, but you're right. It's Zach Collins. The answer is Zach. All this might not matter. If Wemby doesn't play, it's Zach Collins. Apparently Wemby picked up this injury with like 3 minutes to go last game. We'll see. But Oh, Taylor Hendricks also leaving. This is
I was gonna say, I was like,
it's a really fun day for me today.
Anthony George and Taylor Hendricks both leaving the Utah Wizards game there.
Super happy that I played NBA DFS today.
It just also had a very fun day for those of you who are betting rebound props.
Marvin Bagley, yeah.
Bagley there. Just a game of tips. Couldn't get the bucket, but just played a bunch of offensive rebounds for himself. All right, let's get a lineup built again. Our early look, a lot of injury news to come, so take this lineup with a grain of salt here. But I think we're going to be plugging in Kelly O at center for sure here. We like Josh Hart just in general, given the way those minutes have been going for him. 6K a play. We had some value down here. We know they're starting. Do we do the Agbaji thing?
No.
No, okay. We know he's starting, but I agree with you. I can't really pull the trigger on that. Let's see. Fontecchio's 44, Branham 43. Merrill.
Merrill.
Yeah, Merrill for sure.
Micic.
Yeah, Micic is good. All right, so Micic at point guard, Merrill at shooting guard, 66-75. What's our number one spend? I mean, all those top guys are dealing with some injuries here.
I mean,
DeJounte's been really good. Let's run DeJounte out there.
I mean, the answer is Luka if he plays.
Well, yeah, if he plays. We don't know if he's gonna be out there or not. Let's see. What else do we have in the mid tier? Could also go Kelly O at power forward here. And then let's see. You said Nick Richards is questionable. Wendell Carter. Why does Wendell Carter all of a sudden play 31 minutes?
Dude, it's just impossible. It's an impossible thing to figure out. Absolutely.
It is an impossible thing. You were kind of right on Miles Turner. We'll plug Miles Turner in there. 54 for
because obviously we could just play Turner, and if we do receive news on the Wemby front, that game, the Wemby game is
I plugged in Keldon here anyways. I mean, fine. We'll go Sadiq Bey here. All right, Micic, Merrill, Hart, Olynyk, Turner, Murray, Johnson, and Bey. Again, a lot of injury news still to come here, so be on the lookout for all of that updates. We'll have the playbook out for everybody. And the live stream back here at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Until then, we'll see you later.